Hello everyone, Corn here, and as promised, I thought I'd show you what I dyed, the papers I dyed yesterday with the avocado dye, and also the papers I dyed today with that same dye, but with a lot less time in the dye, and some sari silk and laces and doilies and goodies like that. So, but I realized when, who made me this. This was made for me by Judy, who is my scrapbook loft here on YouTube. I'll list her channel below in the description box. And I also wanted to show you, yes, this was drawn for me by Grayson. Look, Grayson signed that. It looks a lot like his mother's artwork. Remember her concentration in college was animation. So yeah, there's Handsome, and there's Corn, and there's Toby or Beautiful, and there's Charming, her husband. And I asked if I could display that, and of course there's Grayson, who, as you see, is king of all the family. Up in the clouds. Yeah. With the sun behind him. So, yesterday, now this first sheet I like. This, again, this is avocado dye on 20-pound printer paper. That was white, a bright white, okay? And the thing is, I put a lot of avocados in there. I did not count them. Whenever I make guacamole, I put the pits, clean them really, really well, and scoured actually the inside of the skins, and then put them in the freezer. So I like the first one, but we're going to get darker, y'all. The first few, I was like, okay, I like that. We're still good. The backs, as you see, are a little bit darker. I think that's because they were, even being stacked, they were saturated more. And that's what I was telling you all. If you don't put one on top of the other, you're going to get this line here. And it can be cool in a way if you're going to use them, for your journals. And they end up like so, That's cool. You do that. Well, it'd be nice if I could do it without holding on to any paper. Like so. I mean, that doesn't look bad. This will be sewn into your journal. But I like it a solid, you know what I mean, where the color goes all the way through. And instead of show you every single one of these, because that could be boring, we start to get darker. And darker. Now, some of you all are going to write in the comments below, I like it darker. I like it, but I don't love it. I love it when it's lighter. And we're getting even darker. Look at that. Look at that one. And look at this. That was just laying in the dye, So, I did put this on film, this group, but like I said, the video didn't turn out well, so that's why I redid it. And then today, these were put in the oven less. They were put in the dye for less time, in the oven for less time, so that, like 95% drying on their own. And look how perfect it matches with Judy's box that she created. I just couldn't get over that. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. And so see, these a whole different ball game. And this is just in the solution and then on the tray. You know, front and back in the solution, on the tray. Didn't stay put. But you'll see the ones on the bottom will start to get a little darker. I think that one turned out yummy. Can you see the little spots and stuff? I like that. And looky look, then we get dark on the bottom. So I personally am much happier with these that go front, back, drain, and 250-degree oven for, seriously, this time it was just for 5 minutes and then out, and they were still very damp, and then they dried on their own. I'm happier with those. Now, the stuff that I dyed yesterday, again, I'm learning. So I will show you first the stuff that was darker to begin with. It wasn't a bright white. And that is the Sari Silk. This, when I purchased it, was, it looked like it had sections of cream, but it looked like it had just been in like a tea dye just for a little bit. So it's showing, as you see, you get all different shades on each piece. And it was in there for the same amount of time. So that's how the Sari Silk came out. Then this piece was already coffee dyed. And let me try to do it like, whoops, like this so you can see the difference. It was already coffee dyed, so it basically stayed the same, maybe the tiniest slight pink hue in that one. This piece I took off at something vintage that was not in, I think it was a pillowcase that was not in good shape anymore. And that really, the natural fibers, as you all know, the natural fibers really soak up that dye. In fact, it got like this shortly after I put it in the bowl of dye. I've got 2 pieces of those, that one. And then these are just little remnants that I had in a container on my desk that I'm not going to throw them away because you can put them on your embellishments. But this is a little cotton. Again, when it's 100% cotton, trims and laces, it soaks up the dye real well and really quickly. And this is just a part of my seam binding that I didn't use. This was white. I thought that turned out pretty. And then this trim, this is also 100% cotton. And again, see how dark? It's almost like the darkness in the paper around the box that Judy created. I wanted to put this here so you could see the difference. So then on to, well, not the laces yet, on to something I was super happy about. When I strained the dye, the avocado dye, I strained it through the cheesecloth, and then you can see I cut the section out that had all the little, it's almost, it reminds me of avocado sand, if that makes any sense. It's gritty. And just put this in the bowl with the dye, and I'm real happy the way that turned out. I think that turned out lovely. And then I have this one that's super light pink. Don't know if the camera is picking up. We have natural light going on today. Maybe you can see how light that pink is there. We have just this little tidbit of lace that it's pink. It's almost a corally pink on that one. I have this lace that I was happy with the way that came out too. It is not the bright white. I'm going to put that up against the glove so you can see. It is just the palest of vintage pink. This one I was pretty happy about. I think this is from Hobby Lobby if I'm not mistaken. And this was white, and that just soaked it up really well. And this bit of lace I thought came out very nice. Thought that was pretty. And this is all from yesterday. And what I did is I left them in there for over an hour. And like I said, some of the natural fiber laces and trims just, within minutes they were kind of dark. But the ones that didn't take, the ones that stayed white, I went ahead and took the others out because they were dark enough in my opinion, and then put the white ones back just to give it another shot, just to see, and they did take up some color. This one I'm happy with. That looks like the candle. This one's fun. Check out this one. This is one of those great laces we got for 75% off some time ago at Hobby Lobby. Remember, it's the stretchy ones with the little silver. I was tickled with how that came out. I thought that came out lovely. And then just little pieces like this. Like I said, I had used them on project and I had just these little tiny pieces left. And I thought they came out lovely. Show you like so. And this one that stayed mainly white, just a touch of pink. And I have a little one again, just a little snippet of lace, some more lace, a larger snippet, and another larger, the same, but this one took on more color, which I thought was interesting. This, I don't remember where I got this. I think this is Hobby Lobby a couple of years ago too. And this one seemed to take it up pretty well. And then this one is lace from Walmart that they don't carry anymore. It was the bright white. And this is the whole, it's Ofray, and I think we used to get it for 97 cents. I know. So, and did I show you all this one? This one is, I think, just turned out lovely. And again, there it is on the white. And it used to be that white. So that's what avocado dye can do. Now, today's batch, this same piece, but I did not as long, and that's what it does. It has a tendency to take up just a little here and more on the edges. So I like the way both of them came out. I'm happy, very happy with them. And then I have just a few little snippets of doilies that were hand crocheted. So these are cotton, just little snippets that I sometimes put on embellishments. And then this is part of a larger hand crocheted vintage doily that, you know how we do. We cut them because, you know, there's one joined to another. Lottie, you know what I'm talking about, huh? If you're here. I think that came out nice. I had two of those that I planned on putting in the dye, and that's how they came out. Tickle with those. And, oh, I'm saving that one for last. Then we have this one. Again, hand crochet. I get these. Used to get these at thrift stores, and one thrift store would mark them up 4 times as much as the other one, so I would get them at the more reasonable thrift store. And then we've got this one, which is a much more closer crochet. I think that one, especially how it got darker in the middle, that was cool. We have this one that decided, no, I'm just going to take the slice. You can see it next to the bright white lace. of my gloves. It took some, but just a little bit, just so sweet. This one. Then I put in, I'm not sure, I cut this out of something I think that had stains and stuff on it. And it's, it feels like a little bit of linen and cotton together. I thought that came out okay. And then I have these 4 napkins. And I didn't put this in for long because I thought it took up, it's very, very light, but it still took up some pretty color. And I'll end up cutting, you know, that. And then last but not least, this is my favorite, how that one came out. Look how pretty. I tell you, that avocado dye, so pretty. And I would not even know about it. Seriously, I would not look it up online on YouTube or anything if it hadn't been by, for Leela, who is Crafts and Hauls. Leela, I will link her channel down below. And yeah, that's how it came out with the papers, and then with the sari silk and doilies and lace and trim and cheesecloth and good stuff like that. And I would like to thank you so much, especially if you've been here through all 3 videos. Remember, I don't edit. If I ever had a video that was, you know, had the music and the words and everything, that was always done by our Toby. But I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me today, and I hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening. Bye-bye, everybody. Take good care of your sweet selves.